Awesome. Okay, guys, so we're gonna work just positioning from side control. When the person keep both of his arms up front. You know, there's different ways your attack, your positioning it always depends on the position of the person's arms. If he has one arm down, everything changes. If you have the other arm down, you know, your attack on top, it depends on the person's arm. So you're gonna go when the person has both arms on his chest, he's defending, he can keep it crossed, keeps on you. It doesn't really matter, but both of his hands has to be up. So, a lot of people ask him, like, where exactly should you be on side control? Let's say on this particular position when he has both of his hands up. Should I be lower towards the hips? Should I be towards the chest? Should I be lower, you know, off him? Should I be more over? So, ideally, you want use your body to control the person in the bottom. You don't want your hands to hold. So if your body's not in a good position, you're having to rely on your arms to hold him and keep him from escaping. Ideally, I want to pin him down with my body and have more freedom with my arms. So, you know, the lower I go, he can take a lot of weight. See, he's not uncomfortable, and his arms are completely free to push. You know, he has all mobility on the arms. I want to place my body right on top of the arms, where I want to take his ability to push. You want to make yourself very heavy. So when he's trying to push, everything is difficult. Like right now, nothing is difficult. He has, you know, his arms are free. He can push. He can move his hips. You want to go right on top of his arms. So now, already he's not in a comfortable position. I'm on top of his lungs, on his solar plexus, when it's, you know, where the breathing goes. So everything now is starting to get more uncomfortable. Now, should I be lower or should I be higher? The one thing that I can check what my position is, when the person moves his hips away from me, see that he's not dragging me. So every time he move back, please. So every time he moves his hips, if I see him moving away from me, you have to compensate by using your arms to grab, or you have to try to close that gap again. So if the hip moves away, he already gained some space. Now he's going to try to use that space to escape, right? So which I have to close the gap. You know, it doesn't mean that he will escape, but like he was able to create escape, that he's going to try to use that escape to, you know, to escape side control. So I want to be over him in a way that if you try to move his hips again, see, he's dragging me. So I don't have to use my arms to hold. I don't have to push myself over to cancel that gap now. Everywhere he moves, he will drag me with him. So then I know I'm high enough. One way that you can see, you know, or feel how high you are, especially you want to slightly turn yourself up. So I don't want to hold him and lock myself on him. I want to open some space so I can attack. Like I need one arm to hold and one arm I can try to push the arm to attack. On the other arm, I can go on the neck. There's different ways that this arm can be used. My left arm, I'm using mainly to hold him, while I keep the left arm free, my right arm free. But I need to be right on top of him. It's, you know, I aim my hip bone, right on the side to be slightly on top of the person. So I dig right into that rib, right at the beginning of his body. So it'll be, you know, right on that spot that you see, you know, it's straight away is uncomfortable, but that's exactly where you want to be. So I know my hips are slightly over my opponent. So see now my hips are off him. It's not on his body. So when he moves his hips away, see, I'm not being dragged. I'm being left behind. So when I place my bone right on top of his ribs, so when he moves now, so he's going to drag me. Everything for him gets harder. And I want to be on top of his arms. The one thing that I have to be aware, see, I don't want to pass the elbow. Because if I do pass the elbow, he opens a space for his arm to go. Now I'm in trouble because he's going to start trying to get my back. The same thing goes for the other elbow. Don't pass that elbow. Don't go on top because that allows the arms to slide underneath your body, and then he's going to start pushing you over. When the arm goes under, I have to change my positioning because he's going to start pushing me over. So my goal when he has both of his arms in is to start opening up his elbows. That's what you want, because now his defense, you start opening his defense. It's much harder for him to defend himself, which that's exactly what you want. So first thing that you do, look, get your elbow. Get his elbow popping out and get a strong hand on top of his shoulder. So in my stomach, I'm gonna go as high as his elbow allow. See, I don't go over, but that's a problem. His arm can slide under my body. I go, look, see my body's touching his arm, and my hip, I can feel it on his rib. And my body always leaning down. See the way that my legs are, I need stability. The wider your legs are, the better, because when he will try to move me off him, my legs are going to give me the support I want, and now my right arm, I keep it clear to attack. I tell people, try not to switch your base, because when this happens, my body turns. See, my hip turns up, my body will turn. I want my body on top of his arms. I want to be heavy, look. You want the body fighting against his arms, look, and pushing. Look, now I'm winning that fight. The moment that you start opening his elbows, that means you're opening his defense. His ability to defend himself, it just diminished. His ability to escape just diminished. Now you're starting to control your opponent. And then from that point on, you will follow up with your attacks. There's different ways to attack. This is mainly positioning wise, when the person's hand is up, not when either hand of him is down, either both or one, then you have to change, which we'll work in a different video. So for now, positioning both hands up, your goal is to open up his elbows. So get the hip right on top of him. So your body, in the beginning, you might feel a bit weird, because if you're not used to it, to be on top of your opponent or your partner, it's, you will feel that he might be able to roll you over, but I guarantee you that's not the case. People think, oh, because Roger is very big, he has more stability. Nothing to do with how tall you are, is how you place your body, how wide you own your feet. Don't overdo it. Of course, if you're a 60-kilo guy, you're fighting with a guy with 120, he's massive. Even if you completely off him, he still might be able to roll. But then, we're talking about when, then you have to compensate just because the other person is so much taller than you or so much bigger. But even if it's like slightly bigger, don't worry. It's very, very difficult for the person to roll you over. So try to find your balance, how much you can be, over your opponent. But the key is, the main key is, when he moves his hips away, he has to drag you with him. Because if he's moving his body away from yours and you staying, that means there's a gap that's being created there. He's going to use that gap to try to escape. So therefore, you have to compensate using your arms. You want your arms free to attack. One arm you hold, the other one, if you can the arm, one hand, completely free, doing different, using different ways to attack, you have a bigger chance attacking your opponent. Try it out.